Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy Monday to you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I know we are. I want to say congratulations to a lot of my community members for the awesome trade signals here recently, and also just how fantastic my community members are doing. So we'll check that out here in a moment, but again, well done. And again, welcome to the channel if you're new to the channel. Not a financial advisor, love teaching people to trade. Been trading for over 17 years. You can register if you'd like here at CryptoCache.tech. The website looks like this. We will have a new website updating here soon, and once we do, the new kind of have like a new price structure. So make sure you get in there, lock in your rate. You will be grandfathered in if you decide you want to register beforehand. Otherwise, let's take a quick look at some results here. So this is really fantastic. Take a look at this. Ethereum, we took 30% in 2.5 days. We took 78% for a fourth target. Trade still open at 1.5 days for Litecoin. That's a trade we took recently. And my favorite one, of course, is Solana long, 153% in 2.5 days. So I don't know. I was sleeping when this happened. That's the beautiful thing about Cornix. It's an automated trading bot. It allows for you to essentially benefit when you're sleeping and or when you're awake. It's even nicer when you're awake, but waking up to something like that is fantastic. So congrats on that. And also take a look at this here too. Some of my traders here, look at that. 138% from a Solana long. That's pretty much exactly our price targets there. And Litecoin as well. Just great job there, mechanical investor. Very well done. So yeah, awesome community. Can't thank you enough for just being awesome parts of my life. If you want to become a better trader, of course, I recommend using Bitget Exchange, $10,000 prize pool monthly. We're having one here soon, I think middle of the month to the end of the month, usually about a 2-week time frame there. And all you're going to need to do is just use my link to register. If you already registered with Bitget, you're using it, and you want to join, send me your user ID. I'll go ahead and get you added. But we got trading volume and, of course, the profit and loss ratio. Okay, so all this is possible, of course, with ExpressVPN. Very last thing, just know you get 3 months free if you decide you want to register with a 12-month plan. Fantastic. Been using them for years, and it's cool to be able to partner with them now. So let's go ahead and take a look at Solana. Let's start with the obvious first of all, and this is the reason why I thought taking the position was favorable. Okay, because again, we have this descending trend, price action continuing lower, and inevitably broke to the upside right here at about $10 even. Now we'll look at smaller time frames to identify that, but there was a lot of tells here telling us that it kept testing this resistance level and it was closing above a previous support. And just to clarify, that previous support goes way back here, all the way to right here, where we can see the price action continued to have some trouble breaking through this level here at $10 previously. This is back in 2021, by the way, almost a full year ago. And you can see the price action came up to retest that as a support and continue higher from there. So Solana essentially didn't look back ever since then. However, of course, we're back down to retest those lows after an ultimate high of 260. Not fantastic, of course, but I think Solana still has some stuff left in the bag here. But regardless, this is all technical analysis, right? Fundamentals are totally a different story. So do your own research, of course. There's a reason why the price continued lower. But there's also a technical reason why the price continued higher recently here, and that's pretty much likely a short squeeze where the shorts hedge their longs with a new long position, close their previous shorts at the previous stop loss. So that is the main reason why we're seeing that. So let's look at some standard indicators here too. And I was telling you this as well yesterday, or correction, it was 2 days ago before I sent out that trade signal, and of course made my most recent Solana video. You can see here, of course, at 30 on the RSI where the price action was retesting that level. Anytime you're below 30 on the RSI, it's really common for the price action to recover quite significantly. You see rare occasions where the price continues to go lower. This does happen sometimes, but for the most part, 30 works as a support level, and essentially when it comes down below, the likelihood of it coming back up is pretty high. So this doesn't mean that the price is going to sustain itself forever. It could very well continue to taper off, but Nisse took some healthy profits, had some really good profit targets there. And if we take a look here, we've got a MACD convergence kind of telling us that we should expect further upside. Okay, that's kind of the momentous indicator. Very last thing we could look at is the simple moving averages, but we're probably getting rejected at one of the two, 20 or the 50. We can see right here the 20 is aligning itself with this Fibonacci retracement level at 1150. So 1150 is a new resistance. Okay, we got to respect that level, but also confirm that $10 even is a support level. We identified that a couple days ago, of course, but it held very strong here recently and broke through very strong. So looking good there in that regard. All right, take a look at the 4 hour here. We can see that we are a little extended, but not too crazy. There's probably a little bit more room to grow here, right? We're at a 6. We could literally progress for another 12 hours, maybe even 24 hours to the upside. I wouldn't expect a significant breakthrough, but there is potential we'll see the price continue higher. Taking a look at the RSI on the 4 hour, we are overextended here as well. This does technically work as a resistance. So if you see right here, we keep retesting that level. It could very well break to the upside, don't get me wrong. That can absolutely happen in momentous trends. But in this regard here right now, we want to expect and anticipate the price action will not go any higher, okay? So just keep that in mind. That's roughly what we're looking at there. A bit on the overextended side, and we can also see this is starting to taper off the momentum to the upside. So while it does look very strong on the daily, and we could very well see a continuation overall, we might see a short-term pullback. That's essentially what it's telling us. Taking a look at the 1 hour, this will really tell us where we're at here. Obviously, we had this God candle, as some would say, where it shot up pretty significant. What was that percentage here? Eesh, nice 20%. We haven't seen that in cryptocurrency here a lot recently, so it's nice to be able to see that, huh? So, a good 20% wick there, that gave us, that 158% for our trade signal. And then, of course, it came back down to hit the trailing stop loss because we use a trailing stop loss that adjusts higher as the price action continues upwards. As you hit your profit targets, it continues to adjust. That's the beautiful thing about trailing stop losses. Cornix has that integrated completely. And if you're not using Cornix, you definitely want to. Link in the description below for that. You get a 10% discount. But they are a phenomenal company to work with. And that's all part of my my community here. So if we take a look at the lagging span, totally free and clear. Conversion line's above the baseline, telling us we still have momentum to the upside. And the lagging span is essentially, again, clear. So we've got 2 out of 3 indicators looking really good. The third indicator, of course, is being above the cloud. Now, this is not a very strong cloud here, you got to keep in mind, but it is averaging itself out at about the 1060 to 1080 range. So it does imply that roughly between 1060 and 1080, we have a support level, okay? Again, it hasn't come down to retest that level yet. It's not there, and it won't be for a little while. So I would say, wait for a pullback. The possibility of a pullback, I feel, is slightly higher, but also not dramatic, okay? So in other words, in situations like this, I don't really like to jump in and hope for it continuing upwards because we're already fairly overextended. And I honestly don't really love shorting either. You could definitely short if you want to, just be cautious and careful. Maybe only short to the nearest Fibonacci retracement level at 1070. But for the most part, I would just kind of wait for it to make up its mind, because a lot of times when you have these strong candle wicks followed by periods of consolidation, it will wick up or down from there. So it literally goes one way or the other. So where it's going to go next is difficult to anticipate, but we got to recognize that the daily tells us we have good momentum to the upside. There's a strong potential of further upside. The 4 hour tells us we might see a pullback soon, and the 1 hour is kind of giving us no indication at all. Okay, I mean, it does say that we want to leave our long position open, of course, so by all means, keep it open. Just make sure you've taken some profit by now, because you don't want to be greedy in this environment. Okay, because again, right now, the way that things are working, if you are greedy with your trades, you're going to get wrecked just based on the simple fact that there's so many large candle wicks up and down. Like say you had shorted Solana recently, you'd probably be in a lot of pain right now, hoping for the price to pull back. So be cautious and careful on how you trade, of course. But the main reason why we took this trade, just kind of reiterate that, is the simple fact that the price came up here to retest this level. You see this ascending type of wedge pattern. The price breaks above, use this level as a support, breaks down, has a secondary support at Fibonacci at 967 and continues higher. In fact, it's hilarious. If you look at our entry targets, you'll see that we actually had, let's see here. I'll just gotta show you this really quick for Solana, Litecoin. It wicked down perfectly to hit our second entry target. So we got in at 984, wicked down to 966, and then we hit all of our profit targets except for the fifth one. Okay, so we hit 4 out of 5. So generally speaking, if you look at this here, 966, the price action wicked down right there at 966 to get us our fill. Or maybe it was right back here. Either way you look at it, it's awesome when you have multiple entry targets and they work the way you want to. Because again, you see the price working within Fibonacci, tries to break this level, comes back down to retest, holds as a support, and now we get a strong candle up there. So again, hitting all of our targets there is just fantastic. So again, congrats to all my community members. Hopefully, if you are watching this, of course, you learned something here today. If you want to become a better trader, again, CryptoCache.tech, you can attend my trading university, join in the community, and just obviously lock in your rate before the rates increase. So I do appreciate you watching here. Thanks again so much for joining me here. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.